Hello guys, welcome to Market Action. My name is Sharath. Today we are going to learn how to trade as an option buyer in intraday. So most of the people, most of my viewers are option buyers. So in this video, we will see 5 steps to succeed as an option buyer. First of all, let us understand what exactly is option buying rather than option selling. So first and most important thing as an option buyer, you should remember that option buying is a different mindset game, not about strategies, not about capital or anything. It's a different mindset business than option selling. Option seller has different mindset compared to option buyer. So it is a different mindset business. For an option seller, time decay is money, but for an option buyer, seconds feel like a pain. So for an option seller, time decay, theta decay, that is very helpful for option seller. But for an option buyer, if he holds the position for maximum time, then there will be a decay in his premium and he will lose all his money. So for an option buyer, seconds feel like a pain. Option seller love to hold the position for a long time, whereas option buyer needs quick move after the entry. If an option seller takes an entry, if the market moves in his favor, and even though if it stays sideways, then also he will be making money. But for an option buyer, price should make an upward movement or move in his direction, but it should move very quickly in that direction. If it moves in his favor and stays in sideways, then option buyer will not make any money. So that is the one of the major reason why option buyers lose money in the market. If option selling is an one-day cricket, option buying is like a T20. So what happens in cricket? In one-day cricket, you can take singles and doubles and you can score a wonderful amount of money by the end of 50 overs. In T20, compulsorily you should hit sixes and fours, then only you will achieve that wonderful big number or wonderful score in that match. That is like option buying. In option buying also same thing, you need quick movements, you need quick scores, you need wonderful directional movement as an option buyer. So we will discuss everything in this video, and I will discuss 5 steps as an option buyer which will be very helpful for the beginners and as well as those who do option buying. So first and most important thing or rule is capital and risk reward ratio. So as an option buyer, always people have less capital. So why people do option buying rather than doing option selling? Maybe some people love to do scalping. Even I do scalping sometimes, and maybe some people have less capital. That is the reason why they are doing option buying. So this is the major disadvantage with the beginners. That is the reason why they are doing option buying. But here only most of the people get trapped and they fail as an option buyer. What happens here is, for example, if a person has 50,000 rupees capital in his account, and what he will do, he will directly buy 5 lots with this 50,000 rupees. Why? For one lot you can pay around 10,000 rupees, and he thinks that with 50,000 I can buy 5 lots. This is where he fails. This is not actually right. And there are some people who watch my videos might know this. Always I say, always take 1% risk, always take 2% risk, always do 1:2 risk reward ratio trade. They also might be confused when they had 10,000 rupees as a capital. They think that how could I take 1% risk with 10,000 rupees capital? How could I take 2% risk with 10,000 rupees capital? What is the 2% of 10,000? It's just 200 rupees. With 200 rupees stop loss, we cannot trade as an option buyer. It is fair. As an option buyer, at least we should have 500 rupees risk, right? We should have 1000 rupees risk for the trade. If you take 1000 rupees risk for 10,000 rupees capital, then the risk will be 10%. Then whatever I was telling is false, right? So this is not like that. The first and most important thing you have to remember is, as an option seller, you need 1.5 lakh rupees as a capital. Let us assume you need 1 lakh rupees as a capital to sell one lot of an option. With 1 lakh rupees, how much option seller will make? With that 1 lakh rupees selling, might be he is making 2,000 rupees or 3,000 rupees profit with that one lot. Some people might be making only 1,000 rupees profit sometimes. So this is the only amount of money people make with 1 lakh rupees capital as an option seller. But if the option buyer gets the same amount of money as an investment, he thinks that he should double that 1 lakh by the end of the day. He thinks that I should make 50,000 rupees from this 1 lakh rupees. I should make 1 lakh rupees profit from this 1 lakh rupees capital. This is where most of the people fail. First and most important thing is, As a beginner, you should always think that with 10,000 rupees, it is impossible to, or it is not a good strategy to become a full-time trader with 10,000 rupees capital. For example, you have 50,000 rupees capital. Even though you had 50,000 rupees capital, at that time you can take 1% risk. What is the 1% of 50,000? That is just 500 rupees. So even though you have 50,000 rupees in your account, you should take only one lot of option. That means you should only buy one lot of call option or one lot of put option, because as an option seller he is also taking only one lot with 1 lakh rupees capital. As an option buyer, you should always think about risk to reward ratio. Even though you have 50,000 rupees, you should not take 5 lots as an option buyer. You should always limit your risk for 1% or limit your risk for 2%, which is 1,000 rupees. As an option buyer, that is the one of the most important thing you should remember. Always you should decide your risk upon the capital. You should not take more trades depending upon the capital. For example, at that time, those people who have 10,000 rupees capital should take 500 rupees as a risk, right? This is proper, because it might be 5% of your capital, but it is equivalent to the person who is trading with 50,000 rupees. So this is the major thing. So even though you have 10,000 rupees, even though you have 50,000 rupees, your risk should be maximum 1%. The fact is, with 10,000 rupees, we cannot take 1% risk. That is the fact. That is the major disadvantage you have, and with 10,000 rupees, nobody will try to become a full-time trader. So if you lost that 10,000 also, then you can add another 10,000 by next month or by another month. That is the different case. But with 10,000, you should take 500 rupees risk with very disciplined way, and you should think that this 10,000 is equivalent to 50,000. However, if you deposit 50,000 in your account, you cannot trade remaining 40,000, because you are only taking one lot of option. That is the same equivalent to the 10,000 rupees capital. Think like that. You have 50,000 rupees in your account. Just think that you are taking 1% risk upon that 50,000 rupees, because even though you had 50,000 rupees, according to the risk to reward ratio, remaining 40,000 you have to keep it idle, right? So that is the major thing. So the risk to reward ratio should be well and good maintained. You should not, and you should never ever dream of making this 10,000 double. You should not have that aim. I will tell you, in a single day you should not have that aim. You should always have that 1:2 risk to reward ratio in the beginning. No matter whatever might be the trending day, no matter how much profit you could have made on that day, but the risk to reward ratio is the key, and risk to reward ratio is the only 100% thing which works in trading. If you are taking 500 rupees risk, your target should be 1,000. If you are taking 1,000 rupees risk, then your target should be 2,000, right? And regarding the target, sometimes what happens, even though you took 500 rupees as a risk, sometimes market makes a drastic fall or market makes a huge movement. At that time, you will make 2,500, 3,000 rupees in just a span of minute, even though you are trying to exit the position, but market moves very fastly and your premium goes very fast and you will make wonderful profit. So whatever the profit is given by the market is, we cannot define that, right? But whatever the losses we give to the market can be defined and can be controlled. So this is the only thing you can control as a trader. So always try to control your stop loss. This is the first and most important rule. So capital and risk to reward ratio you should be maintained. After having capital and after deciding your risk for the day, then comes the strategy. You should have some strategy as a trader. In intraday, we should have some strategies, then only it will be better to trade. Once you have the capital, once you defined your risk for the day, then you should have some strategy. Here I took a strategy of trendline breakout, which I already made a video in this channel. You can check that video. I will provide the link of this strategy in the description. So according to that strategy, there should be 3 touches before the trendline breakout. So here that strategy has been confirmed. So this is a simple strategy. In my webinar, I discuss about 20 plus day trading strategies, because depending upon the opening, depending upon the movements, we have different sorts of strategies. 20 strategies in 5-minute time frame and 4 strategies in 1-minute time frame I use for my day trading. So in my day trading webinar, I give more importance to the option buyers and option sellers. How to trade as an option buyer and option seller is very, very important. You might attended so many webinars till now, or you might watched so many YouTube videos, but whenever it comes to the live market, you forget everything or you get a fear in the live market. That is the reason why I give live market support for my webinar students. In the webinar, we talk about price action, we talk about buyers and seller psychology, we talk about how buyers and sellers take position in the market, and we talk about strategies also. So in the live market, if the same strategies and patterns appears, then I will discuss that with my webinar students in the live market itself. How to take the entry, how we can keep the stop loss, where to keep the stop loss, how to fix the target and all. That will be discussed with the live market with my webinar students only. So this is the one of the speciality. If you wanted to join my webinar, you can text me through the WhatsApp number below in the description. I will provide the details of my webinar, and the fees will also be very less. You can check with the webinar later on, but we will continue with the video. So here you can see price made a breakout. After that you can see wonderful sharp downfall movement. So this is the simple strategy that I discussed in my previous video. So according to this strategy, this is our entry candle, this is our stop loss. After the third touch, whatever the swing will be there, above that we have to keep our stop loss. This is our stop loss, and our target will be 2R or next resistance. We can book the target. So this is the simplest strategy we have. With just strategy, can we become a successful option buyer? No. First of all, with just strategy, nobody ever became an option buyer or option seller. So to become a successful option buyer or option seller, you need practice and you need some other techniques. So now you have capital, you know your risk per the day, you have a strategy. Now the major and main important thing as an option buyer is entry technique. Entry is the most important thing as an option buyer. Where to take the entry? This is what makes option buyer successful.